Good evening, Sunset Slayers! Rise and shine, because today we're going to try to figure out what would happen if I became a gym leader. I woke up today and decided that I think this would be a good test of my brain to see what I would make and what Pokemon I could use that I have never used before. Of course, we'll need the first three things on the list: what the puzzle would be, what Pokemon, and what type. But first, I've noticed 99.4% of you from the last video aren't subscribed. So please, do hit that subscribe button and let's hit that 200 goal right before this Christmas. Thank you. When I was making my decision on what types there were, I considered fire first, since I got hot-headed from here and there and I'm mostly a competitive person. But ultimately, I decided on being an ice type gym leader, since it's in my chill nature. See what I did there? No? Okay, let's move on. I decided on being an ice type gym leader because, well, it's my favorite type. There are a lot of ice types that I like, but I'll get into that later along with my team. Not only that, but the ice type is the rarest type out there, with only 58 Pokemon in total, and only 22 of those are pure ice. I also picked the ice type because when I usually sleep, I prefer my pillow and my room cold. Under the pressure, I'm not one to crack, so I'm pretty able to keep my cool. Also, I really love ice cream, so that's also kinda why I chose this type. There isn't much of a Pokeball that fits the ice types, so I'd opt for the Premier Ball or the Dive Ball, and maybe paint them, like a whitish teal. Just for fun, I've created what I like to call the Frost Ball or the Polar Ball. sounds like polar bear. The Pokeball is white and teal. It also is combined with some of the ice type symbols on top of it. This particular Pokeball has a 3 times capture rate if the Pokemon is an ice type or in a snowy area. Let's get to where I'd be located. For my gym, I'd place myself smack dab right in the middle of Lake Acuity. I always thought this place to be majestic in the Sinnoh games, and I love it so much, even in Legends Arceus. And thanks to a miracle upon which I had nothing to do with whatsoever, wink wink, Candace went on a forever vacation and will never open her gym ever again. So that leaves room for her replacement. Picture this: you've just come across a snowy lake, and you see a huge frozen castle, almost like the one in Frozen. The gate would open and you'd be greeted with a path straight to me. You'd run forward only to find that it was a trap. A huge snowstorm takes place, and now you have to swerve through the maze and fight trainers along your way. That's not it though. You'll have to find campfires along your path to keep warm. If you don't, you'll black out and end up back at the beginning of the gym. If you somehow make it, good job! Now we fight. And like most other gym leaders, I'm only going to use 4 Pokemon. I'll add the extra 2 in case if they are backup or I need a full team. For my battle, I'm going to switch things up and be in a double battle format. For most ice type gym leaders, I feel that most of their Pokemon can't do it alone. Hence, why I'm going to be the cold-hearted person of this region and play the cards right this time. I'm also going to use fully evolved Pokemon, assuming that I'm about the 7th or 8th gym leader out there besides the Elite 4. Assuming items won't be allowed because no gym trainer uses them, or leader. Besides BDSP. Ice types aren't great defensively, I'll admit, for once, but I think if they are put to good use, they could be great offensively. Prepare yourself, for my leading Pokemon would be the wondrous Aurorus. When it comes to Aurorus versus Tyrantrum argument, or any other fossil Pokemon, I've seen Aurorus at the bottom of the list, and I don't know why. Take the Sauropoda, a quadrupedal herbivore, mixed with an Aurora Borealis, freeze it for 1,000 or 1,000,000 years, and you get this majestic creature of a Pokemon. I've never used Aurorus much, but now I get to put it to good use. I'm not sure if this would be allowed, but I'm going to let Aurorus have the ability Snow Warning for this part. This hail allows not only my team to gain a 50% defense boost, but also Blizzard's accuracy goes to 100% and cannot miss, giving my big dino now 144 base defense as well. The moves I would give for the offense would be first up Blizzard, Thunderbolt, and Earth Power to significantly deal with fire, water, and rock types. Aurorus would get one defensive move, either Protect or Light Screen. Light Screen to preferably deal with special moves, or Protect just to stall out for a possible super effective move. A strong leader can't go on without their team, so let's cool down and go on to my second member. My second Pokemon would be Avalugg. You can't have an ice team without an iceberg to sink the opponent team like the Titan. While I had thought about Hisuian Avalugg, I had figured that the Kalos option would be a better fit. Avalugg would excel not only with its great attack, but specializing in its tremendous defense and fewer weaknesses than the Hisuian form. Now, that hail, 50% defense boost, right? Avalugg's defense is already 184, but now, instead of that, times that by 2, it is 368. Yeah, that is pretty sturdy. I'm also allowing the ability of Ice Body, which lets Avalugg recover a 16th of his health while in the hail, hopefully getting that damage taken a little bit healed. It would also serve as one of the main attackers on my squad with the move Avalanche for Stab, and since Avalugg is super slow, it would deal double damage. I've also got moves like Crunch and Earthquake for Steel, Rock, and Fire types. Finally, I would add Body Press. With its high defense, it will deal super damage to the opponent. Now, for my third Pokemon, it would be the Frigid Frost Rotom. Honestly, I'd use this just because it's a fridge. Also, I love that the little handles look like the arms. Or is it the other way around? The arms look like handles? I don't know. For some of you probably wondering already, the reason I chose Frost Rotom over Arctozolt is because it has a better BST, being faster, stronger, and more hefty. Also, due to Rotom's Levitate, it loses the would-be 4 times weakness to ground types. A significant addition to my already weak Ice team from ground moves. Freeze is hard to hit, and while it may not be intended, I could always paralyze them. Thunderbolt in particular, along with Volt Switch, to get a clean switch if I need it. Blizzard obviously, and then finally Confuse Ray for the chance it doesn't hit me, and rather itself. Now, for my main and ace Pokemon, would be the stunning and gorgeous Alolan Ninetales. If I didn't include this divine Kitsune on my team, I would be bitter cold to the core. And I will admit, it has some weaknesses, but played right, it could be a menace to deal with. In the hail while it's up, Ninetales' ability Snowcloak raises its evasion by 20%. Ninetales can go with either Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, Freeze Drive for water and rock types. Icy Wind will lower its opponent's speed, a move that some ice gyms use, and then finally, I'll give it Aurora Veil to set up both physical and special moves, so it'll be a bit harder to hit my Pokemon and take them down. Now, the last 2 Pokemon I would add to my team would be Baxcalibur for dragon coverage, and also Walrein for water coverage. Let's get back to Alolan Ninetales. Now, while Ninetales may not have anything exclusive to it, except its regional forms, it's still fun to imagine what it would look like as a Mega Pokemon. So, I've invented a Mega Alolan Ninetales just for this gym battle. Meet Mega Alolan Ninetales, aka the Beauty Blizzard. I decided it should be more of a majestic look because in its sword entry, it said it was worshipped as an incarnate. That means it is as if a god or deity embodied a Ninetales. My first initial thought was the goddess Scotty, since she is in the wintry forest. But then I found out it could be a reference to Poliahu, and I'm sorry if I get the name wrong. Poliahu, the goddess of snow, noticed as Hawaii's most beautiful goddess. She resided in the Hawaiian mountains of Mauna Kea. Need I which remind you, the Alolan region is based off of Hawaii. The story goes, as humans passed along, she would sled and race with them. But then one day, a stranger challenged her, borrowing her sled. They raced 3 times, but on the third, the stranger tried to stop Poliahu from winning, and was revealed to be Pele, the goddess of volcanoes. Poliahu of course won the fight in the end, but this could be why some of its dex entries say how it will only appear to be virtuous or kind towards people, and freeze anyone who harms nature or angers it. Of course, that's just a theory. It's also nice to know how Alolan Ninetales, the Ice type, is a counterpart to its Kantonian form, which is a Fire type, just like Pele and Paliahu. Anyway, back to its Mega form. Mega Alolan Ninetales keeps its Fairy and Ice type, but it now has a new ability called Blizzard Cloak. When Mega Ninetales enters the field, it summons Hail, but it also works like Snow Cloak for a 20% evasion. It could be that, or it could just be its hidden ability Snow Warning. Either one. I made a dex entry that reads, "Don't be fooled by its beauty. Its body temperature and aura now reaches further beyond sub-zero. You could freeze instantly if you touch it." Or, I thought about, the Mega energy is so strong, Ninetales' body generates an insane blizzard it can't withstand. If you hear its howl, get away from the mountains. Honestly, some of the Mega Evolution dex entries scare me a little bit. And I thought it might as well go down that route as well. So that's it. Congrats, kid. You beat me in a gym battle. Now, here's your badge. I really don't care what it is. It could literally just be the ice type symbol. It could be a glacier. It could be an avalanche. Or iceberg. I don't care. Here's a pile of snow. Take it, leave it. I don't care. Get out of my sight. Anyway, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you like some of my Pokemon content, please check it out. It would mean the world to me. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and check out another video if you have the time. Anyway, my name's Dusky Dex, and I'll see you after the sunset. Bye!